La Yashalu, which means to Israel. Imagine, which means to stand. Upon Hakadam, which means to rise and face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shukah, Yahweh, Malawatka, Taba'a, Rakazaka, Haya, Asha, Barataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathalanam, Lakam, Kawayawam, Basalak Nawa, Kawat Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawat Nawa, Wala'a, Taba'a Nawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wataparath, La Awalamim, Maman. In the English, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Amen. Hekak, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Babakashah, Nathalanawa, Hekak. Hakak la ra'a karmakala, wakamanawa, hakak la tahar, hamakazaria, hakak la hakim, hamathim, hakak arakawat, hatama'ala lagarshan, ba'ashimi awashad, du'araman. The power in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power to cleanse unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Barak Lanawa, Wayasha'ala, Wahabayah, Saparia, Barak, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Duwada Aman. In the English, what we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us in Israel, in the school, in the name of Yahushua, Jesus Christ. Thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'a, Ayanya, Aharim, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Azaria, Ma'am, Yahweh, Asha, Shemaya, Waratasa, Ayatan, Lamawach, Regaka, Ayanawam, Shemarka, Hanat, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Ayat, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashemash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarak, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makara, Yashamar, Aflapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'afka, Wabawaka, Mayatha, Wa'ai, Awalam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills, but whence cometh my help? My help comes from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. All right. Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahayim, Adam Yalaka, Alta Karash, Alta Shakwa, Al Kayahana, Awabika, Yahama Yawan, Ra'as, Al Amaka, Yarayama, Sawada, Wayathat Yatazawa, Al Tazakawanyaka, Amara, Lakawat, Manaka Yadam, Magoya, Wala Aya Sakar, Shamya Sha'ala, Iwala, Kaya, Nawatazawa, Laba, Ikadwa, Arika, Variath, Yakarathwa, Ahoya, Adamam, Wayashima Aliyam. Mama Abu Argarian Kabal, Wamawan, Wamalat, Palashat, Am Yashabi, and Tazabur, Kamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarwa, Labani Lawat, Salah, Ashalahum, Kamadi, Kasaya Sara'a, Kayabi, Banakor, Kayashwan, Nashamawa, Bayan Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, La Damat, Shetamba, Nada Yamawa, Kara, Ukazabat, Ukapazor Manad, Karnasi Kamwa, Ashar, Amara, Narashat, Nanawa, Ath. Na'awat, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shatamba, Kagala, Kakwash, Napani Rawaka, Ka'as, the Baria Ira, Wa Kalabat, Dalahats, Harim, Khan, Dardatma, Besaraka, Wabaswa Dalahum, Mala'a, Panyahum, Palawan, Wayapakwashwa, Shaka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Wayapahova, Ayai, Wayakapara, Waya Abadu, Waya Daiwa, Kia Atla, Shaka, Yahweh, Labaka, Ayawan, Al-Kawarataza. Psalms 83 in the English. Hear not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make us smoke, and they that hate thee are lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off of being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and Hagarians, Gebal, and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, the house of Tyre. Ashur also joined with them. They have hoped in the children of Lot, Salah, doing to them as to the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, as to Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth, make the nobles like a rib, and like Zeb, yea, all the princes as SABBATH, and as Luna, who said, let us take to ourselves the house of Yahweh in possession of my power, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as a fire burnt the wood, and as the flames set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy sentence and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let us be confounded in trouble forever, yea. Let us be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Okay. ISUPK power structures. Okay. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth and all things living, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. Some evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Some evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches in thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Positkomitazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way, but try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the place shut the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel come down with flying saucers to punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause this to be known by all that is the angels who have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you always, so be it. All right. Sorry, which means the term. All right. Oh, please open. Yeshavium, which means to be seated. All right. Once again, Yeshavium means to be seated. All right. All right, first things first, I want to say Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatah to the brothers, Shalom Yahweh Shamar, Alatah Hashem Yahweh Shai to the sisters, all right? I am priest and officer 5000, Maccabia, out of ISUPK, Minnesota, of course, under commanding General Yohana, all right? So, as you know, Lord allow every every Saturday, we have what is called Sabbath service, a service which is, very traditional and very home to the Israelites as far as our culture, where we have, the scrolls, the horn, the chalice, the bread plate, the showbread, and all the things on the table that represents, Israel's culture. We have on, have on a garment. A garment is what Christ wore, what the disciples wore, what the prophets and priests wore, that you read throughout the scriptures. All right, with the headpiece. Okay, so the Sabbath service, of course, where we actually get into our native tongue, which is the ancient Paleo Hebrew, and we translate it into the oppressor's language, the bastard's language that I like to call, which is English. And we go into books in the Bible to read into our history and break it down. All right. So if you have any questions or concerns, you can type it into the chat. Otherwise, we are going to go ahead and, get straight to it. All right. And we are in Deuteronomy, the 3rd chapter, going into the 4th chapter. And we are kind of like at chapter 3, verse 24. So towards the end of this chapter. Now, earlier in the 3rd chapter, what we read and saw is how Israel had a battle with King Og, the king of Bashan. And the thing was, what Israel did not realize in this battle, or even Moses, that Israel already won the battle because the Lord was with them from the start. But however, what needed to happen was they had to follow instructions, follow the guidance, follow, the Most High's words, and trust in him that they were going to overcome and conquer these people. Not only this king, but his people as well. Okay? And every time in life, how we succeed is when we listen to someone who has the answers, someone who has the solution. That's how you succeed as a people. That's how you succeed as an individual. But in this case, we're talking about as a nation of people, a group of people. If you are a so-called Black, Latino, North American Indian, that's who I'm speaking to, because we are a collective. We are a family. We are a union. All right? So, because that's what the Bible says, we are God's chosen people. We are not all people. We are a chosen, specific group of people that's not like everyone else. I pray you understand. So let's get to it. All right, we are going to get into 7 verses into the ancient Paleo Hebrew and then translate it into the bastard English tongue. Okay. All right. Let me see something. Okay. All right. One sign first. All right. Let me see. Boom. Let me check one thing now. That's what I'm looking for. One thing. I do want to read verse 21 going all the way down to verse 24. All right. Let's get it. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to read it to the Hebrew, and then we're going to get into the English, the bastard's tongue. Okay. All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 3, verse 24 in the Hebrew. Adanya, Yahweh, Atha, Hakawath, Lahara Awas, Ath, Abadah, Ath, Gadalak, Wa'ath, Yadak, Hakazak, Ashar, Maya, Al, Bashamayim, Wabaratazah, Ashar, Wayashah, Kamashiach, Waka Gabarath Yathak, Waka Gabarath Yathak. Verse 25. Ibara, Na'a, Wa'ara'a, Ath, Harataza, Hatawaba, Ashar, Bibar, Hayaradan, Hahar, Hatawab, Hazah, Waha, Waha, Labanim. Verse 26. Wayatabar, Yahweh, Baya, Lamai come. Lamai come. Wala'a, Shemai, Awya, Wayamar, Yahweh, Awya, Rab, Alak, Al, Tawasap, Dabar, Awya, Iwad, Badabar, Hazah, verse 27, Ayla, Ra'ash, Hapasagah, Washa, Ayanya, Yama, Watazapana, Wata Yamana, Wamazarak, Wara'a, Bayanya, Kaya La'a, Taibar, Ath, Hayardan, Hazah. Verse 28. Watazawa, Ath, Yahawashai, Wakazakwa, Wa'amatazawa, Kaya, Hawa'a, Yaibar, Lapanya, Ha'aim, Hazah, Wahawa'a, Yanakol, Awatham, Ath, Harataza, Ashar, Thara'at. Verse 29. Wanashab, Gabaya, Gabaya, Mawal, Bayath, Piawar. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 1, last verse. Wayatha, Yasha'ala, Shemai, Al, Hakwakim, Wa'al, Hamashapatim, Ashar, Anakia, Malamad, Athakam, Lai Shawath, Lamain, Thakia, Waba Atham, Waya Shatham, Ath, Harataza, Ashar, Yahweh, Alahaya, Abathayakam, Nathan, Lakam. And then that's it on that. Let's clap it up. Deuteronomy chapter 3, verse 21. I'm going to start at 21, but we're really supposed to start at verse 24, all right? And I commanded Joshua at that time, saying, Thine eyes have seen all that the Lord your God have done unto these 2 kings, so shall the Lord do unto all the kingdoms whither thou passest. Verse 22, ye shall not fear them, for the Lord your God, he shall fight for you. 23, and I besought the Lord at that time, saying, 24, O Lord God, thou hast begun to show thy servant thy greatness and thy mighty hand. For what God is there in heaven or in earth that can do according to thy works and according to thy might? So, Moses is reminding Joshua of who the Lord is and the past victories that have been won because of the Most High concerning Israel's success, Israel's thriving, Israel just winning and conquering. It's because of the Most High. So he's reminding him and letting him know, like, look, understand that this is the Lord who is doing this. He is responsible of why Israel is the way that they are as far as them winning. All right? When the Most High is with you, when you are with him, as far as obedience, obeying him, any enemy that comes against you, the Most High will destroy them. You don't have to do much except for listen and follow orders. If you listen to what a wise man of the Lord tells you to do, you will be doing just great. You'll be just fine, because you are following the instructions of a man who knows better than you. Like, we all need to listen to somebody, because, in actuality, you listen to something or someone. The way that you live your life, in everyday life, there's something that you have to abide by, something that you have to follow. Even when you don't think about it, like certain things, you just don't even think about it, you just do because of society. You only go, you keep driving on the street if the light says go. If the light says it's green or it says go, you go. You just do it naturally. That you're not supposed to, a lot of people, most people, that you should not just intentionally just harm people, just to harm them. You're not supposed to, covet someone else's house and just, be a squatter there. It's not your house. Like, there are things naturally that we do, that we follow, that we don't even think of. It's just second nature to us. But when it comes to someone who has true authority and who has wisdom and who really does have answers, you should listen to that person, because your life can be saved. Your life can be in a better predicament than what you have already put it in, which is in danger. All right, verse 25. I pray thee, let me go over and see the good land that is beyond Jordan, that goodly mountain in Lebanon. Verse 26. But the Lord was wroth with me for your sakes, and would not hear me. And the Lord said unto me, let it suffice thee, speak no more unto me of this matter. So Moses is praying to the Most High to, still go into the promised land. But the thing is, Moses was not allowed to be in the promised land because of what he did as far as disobeying the Most High. Instead of striking that rock, those mountains of rock, he was supposed to speak to the rock in order for the water to come out of it, because that's what he was commanded to do, but he disobeyed that order. So although, the Most High forgave Moses, consequences still remain. They still apply. Just because you got judged doesn't mean that you still don't have to deal with the aftermath. A lot of people think that the aftermath is just the judgment and then that's it. No. There are things that still come into play. You still, like a consequence is a reminder for the thing that you have done. And yes, you have a judgment, but at the same time, this is an example. Yes, you've been judged. Your judgment is you are not allowed to go into the land. You can look at it. You can lead the Israelites to the promised land, but you have to stay behind. And that's life. Some things are, you know, you're not going to be left off the hook. But once again, that's up to the Lord to decide what is done in this particular situation that you are in. All right. But this is for, you know, this is Moses, you know, punishment. All right. And so and the Lord said, look, don't talk to me again about this. I don't want to hear nothing else about it. You prayed to me, you asked me, I gave you an answer. The answer is no. La'ah. So don't not ask me about this again. Do not. Let's not talk about it no more. Let's move on. Let's move forward. All right. Verse 26. But the Lord was wroth with me. It's like it. Verse 27. Get thee up into the top of Pisgah, and lift up thine eyes westward and northward, and southward and eastward, and behold it with thine eyes, for thou shalt not go over this Jordan. So the Lord is saying, like, okay, don't talk to me about this no more. But however, you can lead Israel into this land, and you can go see it. You know what I mean? You can't step foot into the land, but you can see the overview of this place that you were supposed to be in. You can look at the place, but you cannot go there. All right? Like in certain places in the world, you are able to stand on top of a mountain, or not even always a mountain, but you can actually stand in certain places and see the next city over. You know, you could be on a bridge and look over there. There goes St. Paul. You look over here. There goes Minneapolis. You look over here. There goes Roseville. Like there are, that's the example that's being said, and the order that's being said to, Moses. Like for example, when we had one of the fire weekends a few years back in Detroit, and I remember being at this beach that we had our barbecue at, and we are looking across the lake, and everybody's telling me, like, right there across the lake, all the way right there, that spot, that's Canada. I was like, wait a minute, how can we see Canada from Detroit? It just, it still doesn't make sense to me as far as the whole science behind it. Because I would think in my mind that Canada is above Minnesota, not necessarily above Detroit. But I'm looking at it just as a simple map that you might see in an elementary school. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I would think that you're able to see Canada, from somewhere in Minnesota versus a Detroit, where Detroit is a little bit under Minnesota, as the city, or Michigan is under Minnesota. But I mean, hey, it is either way. How the whole landscape of the world is created is just amazing. When it comes to you looking at just different cities and places and stuff like that, where you can be in one city, but you can see the next city right next to you from a different city that you're sitting and standing in real time. It's amazing. But that's the point that was being conveyed or ordered by the Most High to Moses. All right. Verse 28. But charge Joshua and encourage him and strengthen him, for he shall go over before his people, before this people, and he shall cause them to inherit the land which thou shalt see. So we abide in the valley over against Beth Peor. So Moses' orders was to stop talking about this thing. Do not ask me again about you going to the promised land. But however, you can peek and see and look at it, but you cannot enter into this land. However, you are going to send this next leader that you have to raise up, which is going to be who? Joshua. And Joshua is going to lead the Israelites into this promised land that was inherited, that was given by the Most High. But however, you make sure that you strengthen him, you charge him, you encourage him, you give him all the tools that I have given you in order for him to be successful, to lead Israel into the promised land. All right. Verse 1, Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 1. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments, which I teach you for to do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land, or possesses the land, which the Lord God of your fathers giveth you. All right. So that's self-explanatory. Let's get back into the Hebrew. All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4. Yeah, we are back into the Paleo Hebrew. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 2. La'ah, the Sakwa, Al, Hadabar, Ashar, Anakia, Matazawa. It's like Matazawa, Athakam, Wala'ah, Thagaraiwa, Mamanwa, Lashamar, Ath, Matazawath, Yahweh. Alahayakam, Ashar, Anakia, Matazawa, Athakam, verse 3. Ayanyakam, Thara'ath, Ath, Ashar, Aisha, Yahweh, Babal, Hiwar, Kiyah, Ka'al, Hayash, Ashar, Halak, Aharya, Baal, Hiwar, Hashamadwa, Yahweh, Alahayak, Makarabak, verse 4. Wa'atham, Hadabakim, Hadabakim, by Yahweh, Alahayakam, Kayam, Kalakam, Hayawam, verse 5. Ra'ah, La Madathia, Athakam, Kakium, Wa Mashapatnim, Kashar, Tazawanya, Yahweh, Alahaya, Lashawath, Khan, Bakara, Harataza, Ashar, Atham, Bayam, Shema, Larashata, verse 6. Washamaratham, Wa'aishatham, Kaya, Hawa'ah, Ka Mathakam, Wabayan Mathakam, Salaki, Wabayan Nathakam, Layanya, Hama'aim, Ashar, Shalai, Washamayawan, Ath, Ka'ol, Hakakim, Ha'ala, Wa Marwa, Rock, Ain, Kakam, Wana Bawan, Ha Gawiya, Ha Gadawa, Hazah, verse 7. Kaya, Maya, Gawiyah, Gadawal, Ashar, Lawa, Alahayim, Karabium, Alahayawa, Kayahawa, Alahayanwa, Bakal, Quranwa, Alayawa, verse 8, last verse. Wamaya, Gawiya, Gadawa, Ashar, Lawa, Kwakim, Mashapatyam, Slaki, Tazadak Yaquam, Kakal, Hatarara, Hazaath, Ashar, Anakia, Nathan, Lapanyakam, Hayawam. And then that's it on that. Slap it up. All right. Okay. All right, let's get back into the, the bastard's language, which is the English. All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 2. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye dismiss out from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you. 3. Your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that followed Baal Peor, the Lord thy God hath destroyed them from among you. Now, Baal Peor is going to be, Baal. All right, which is the worship of another god, other gods, and stuff like that. You got Baal, which is, following one thing, but Baal Peor is multiple gods. And one thing that the Lord, despises amongst Israel is choosing a God that is not him. Because when you choose to serve another God that is not the Most High, it is a great offense. Because you are ultimately telling the Most High, what you do for us does not matter. You are not real. You are not good enough. What the Lord provides does not work for you. That's what you're saying. When in actuality, the only true living God, the Most High, Yahweh in the Hebrew, is the Most High. Like all the other God, like the God of Christianity is white Jesus, who is a white man named Caesar Borgia. He is not around. He was a real man. And he was painted in the likeness of Christ. That's the God of Christianity, because Christianity is white supremacy. That's what that is, right? That's not a real God. The God of Islam, the East Indians, the Arabs, the Africans, the Chinese, the Japanese, these are all things that are not real. It's not living. The Most High is very much alive. And the things that are happening in the earth is because of the Most High. Because we are breathing and living. The Most High created all of this. No one else can take credit for it. Okay? Just so that we can understand that. And the Most High destroyed those people that decided to go serve other gods that were not him. A God that was not him, they decided to, choose a different culture and tradition. The Most High got rid of them. Just like that. Understand that you are in the family that you can be kicked out of. And you can just be dismissed. You can be cut off. It happens. All right? Verse 4. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you, this day. Good night. That's self-explanatory. Verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. So, just like now, how we serve the Lord, okay, when Moses is saying, just like how we're serving the Lord now, and how those people are destroyed, but you are here today, who are living right now at this very day, up until this very day. We went through all the hell that we went through in Egypt, with the ground opening up and people falling into the earth, and the ground just closes. Like, if you know what an earthquake is, it breaks up the ground, breaks up the earth, and then it closes. You know what I mean? It closes, it opens, and it closes, right? An earthquake. Israel were bitten by fiery serpents. Not only are you getting bitten by a damn snake, but the snake is on fire. And mind you, we are people who have clothing on. So you're burning and you're being bit. That is horrible. You know, as we're leaving out of Egypt, being in the wilderness, and then we are getting sick. We are getting plagues. I mean, the list goes on to all the things that were happening to us in the wilderness because of our disobedience, because we wanted to go back to Egypt. We wanted to serve another people. We wanted to serve another God. But just how we learned this lesson, remember, keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. And for all those that are alive today, you are going to keep that same lifestyle as you go into this new land that the Lord has given you to possess. Keep the same ordinance, keep the same principles. Otherwise, it's going to be Egypt, or it's going to be the wilderness all over again. That's the point that Moses is making. All right, let's keep going. Verse 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. The reason why we are a laughing stock today as Black, Latino, North American Indians in the earth and all over the entire earth is because we do not serve our true God. We do not respect and we don't have any respect for our God, any honor. We don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Instead, we do and live under another person, another God, who tells us that you can be LGBT. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have a preference. You can be with whoever you want to be with. We live in a world where they're trying to make, destroying a child's innocence, PDF filing, right? They're trying to make that a great thing now. They're trying to normalize child predators that take away the innocence from children and turn it and spin it to something pretty and beautiful to make it normal, when it is not normal to touch children, when it is not normal to change your identity from a man to now you are a woman. You know what I mean? You used to be Jaden, but now you're Jada. Like, what the hell is going on? You know what I mean? That's the world that we live in. But however, if we were to be a people where the Lord said he was against everything I just mentioned, the drug addiction, all the smoking that you do, whether it be anything, the weed, the cigarettes, the crack, the fentanyl, so on and so be it. You know what I mean? The alcoholism, the prostitution, the sexualization of our women, the sexual deviancy of our people. If we were to be against all of that and keep the law, statutes, and commandments, everybody would actually honor you and have more respect for you as a people, as a nation. And they would say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Because in actuality, that is our identity. But we don't have that identity anymore because we decided to separate ourselves from our God and join someone else as a God. Moving on. And that's why we get on the live and we have selective outrage. And then we go back to celebrating July 4th. If you celebrated Juneteenth, you have no business celebrating July 4th, you idiots. You have no business. You are a slave if you do it. I pray you understand. Verse 7. For what nation is there so great who hath God so nigh meaning near unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for? Like damn, like when you have the Lord by your side, when you are obeying and listening and hearkening to everything that he has told us to do and to follow as a nation, I mean, how can you fail? How can you fall when you have the blueprint? It's like you taking a test at school, right? And someone gives you a cheat sheet. How do you fail the test when you have the answers in your hand? How do you fail the test? How can you fail as a people when the Lord is with you? How? How can you go wrong? You only go wrong when you go against what the Lord says and tells you to do. That's all. He gives you the answers and you go against the answers. That's how you fail. Verse 8. And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? I'm just reiterating the main point. Let's keep going. Let's see. So we got one. Hold on 1 second. We got 1, 2, 3. All right. Yep. Let's keep it going. All right. Time is running. Let's keep it going. Where was I? I left off verse 8. Okay. Yeah. Yep. So all right. So 9. So we got 3, 6. Okay. Cool. All right. Now let's go ahead and get into Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 9 in the Hebrew. Rock, Hashamar, Lak, Washamar, Nakashak, Ma'ad, Pun, Lashakak, Af, Hadabarim, Ashar, Ra'awa, Ayanya, Wapan, Yasawarwa, Malabad Bak, Ka'al, Yamya, Kayak, Wahawad, Waha, Wadayatham, Labanyak, Balabanya, Banyak, verse 10, Yawam, Ashar, Amadath, Lapanya, Yahweh, Alhayak, Bakara, Ba'amor, Yahweh, Auya, Hakwahol, Laya, Af, Ha'ain, Wa'ashamayim, Ath, Baria, Ashar, Yalamad 1, Layara'a, Athia, Ka'ol, Hayamyam, Ashar, Ham, Kayam, Al, Hadamah, Wa'ath, Banyaham, Yalam Madawan, verse 11. Wata Banyawam. Watai, good night. Wa Watamai, the one. There we go. The Kath, Hahar, Wahahar, Bayar, Ba'ash, I, Lab, Hashemayim, Kashat, Ainan, Irapal, verse 12, Wayadabar, Yahweh, Ayakam, Mathawat, Ha'ash, Kawal, Dabarium, Atham, Shemayim, Wata Wana, Ayakam, Rayam, Zawalathia, Kawal, verse 13, Wayagad, Lakam, Ath, Bariathwa, Ashar, Tazawa, Athakam, Lashawath, Asharath, Hadabari, Bayakathkam, Al, Shanya, Lakawath, Abanium, verse 14, Wa'athia, Tazawa, Yahweh, Ba'ayah, Hawa'ah, Lalamad, Athakam, Quakium, Hamashapatium, Layashakakam, Atham, Baratazah, Ashar, Atham, Ibarium, Shema, Larashath, verse 15, last verse. Wabashemaratham, Ma'ad, oh, Lana Pop, Lana, so like Lana Pashath, Lana Pashath Yakam, Kaya, La'a, Ra'ayas, it's like Ra'a Yatham, Ka'al, Thama Wana, Bayawam, Dabar, Yahweh, Ayakam, Bakarab, Mathawat, Ha'ash. And then that's it on that. Clap it up. That was pretty long. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 9. Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen. Lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons. Meaning, Moses is saying to Joshua, everything that I am telling you and teaching you, make sure that you pass on to the children and the children's children when they have children and children's children. So for generations, continue this tradition. Continue to teach these cultures, these words, this wisdom, this leadership, this brotherhood, as I am teaching you. For however long you live, make sure that it's your duty to teach and pass it on to the next, all right? 10, specifically, the day that thou stoodest before the Lord thy God in Horeb, when the Lord said unto me, gather me the people together, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear me all the days that they shall live upon the earth, and that they may teach their children. 11, and ye came near and stood under the mountain. So like it, yep, and ye came near and stood under the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire unto the midst of heaven, with darkness, clouds, and thick darkness. 12, And the Lord spake unto Moses, unto you out of the midst of the fire. Ye heard the voice of the Lord, but saw no similitude, only ye heard a voice. And he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments. And he wrote them unto Aslaki, and he wrote them upon 2 tablets of stone. 14. And the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and commandments, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go over to possess it. 15. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire. So Moses also is explaining like all the things that he experienced and went through when it came to the Lord, presenting himself to him and giving him the orders on what his mission was. And what Moses' mission was simply to lead, his people, which are the Israelites, into the promised land, out of Egypt, through the wilderness, to the destination spot, which was the land that the Most High gave us to possess, okay? That he promised us. That's why it's called the promised land. So that was his mission. Now he's also explaining to Joshua, like, look, you didn't have to go through that. We are right now in Horeb. We are at the finish line where you are about to have walk Israel into the promised land. And the Most High did not present himself to you the way that he presented himself to me. So I'm telling you what it is, and this is what you need to do. And that's that. Let's go back to the Hebrew. 16 all the way to 22. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 16. Pun. The shock, the one. The shock, the one. Wa'aishatham, lakam, pasal. Thamawanath, ka'al, samal. Thabanyath, Zakar, Awa, Nakwaba, verse 17. Thabanyath, Ka'al, Bahama, Ashar, Baratazah, Thabanyath, Ka'al, Tazapawar, Kana, Ashar, Taiwa, Bashamim, Bashamayim, verse 18. The Bunyath, Ka'al, Ramash, Ba'adama, the Bunyath, Ka'al, Raga, Ashar, Bamayim, Mathakath, La'aratazar, verse 19. Wapan, the Shah, Ayanya, Hashemayim, Arayath, Ath, Hashemash, Wa'ath, Hayarak, Wa'ath, Ha-Kawakabium, Ka'al, Tazabah, Hashemayim. When adopt, Waha Shatak Wayak, Laham, Slaki, Wa'aba Thaf, Thumb, Ashar, Kalak, Yahweh, Alahayak, Atham, Lakal, Hamayim, the Kath, Ka'al, Hashemayim. Verse 20. Wa'athakam, Laquak, Yahweh, Waya Wataza'ah, Athakam, Makawar, Ha-Barazal, Matazarayim, Lahayawath, Lawa, La'ain, Nakala, Kayawam, Hazah, 21, Wayahawa, Hatha-Nak, Bayah, Al, Dabar-Yakam, Wayashabai, La Balathia, Ibaria, Ath, Hayaradan, Wala Balathia, Ba'a, Al, Haratazah, Hatawaba, Ashar, Yahweh, Alahayaka, so like Ahaliyak, Nathan, Lak, Nakala, verse 22, last verse. Kaya, Anakia, Math, Baratazah, Hazaath, Ayanya, Ibar, Ath, Har Yaradan, Watham, Ibarium, Wayarashatham, Ath Haratazah, Hatawaba, Hazaath. And then that's it on that. Let's clap it up. All right, let's keep it going. Okay. So we got 1 and then 2 and then 3. Okay, cool. All right. All right, now back into the bastard's tongue, which is the English. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 16. Lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female. 17. The likeness of any beast that is on earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth. 19. And lest thou lift up thine eyes into heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them. Serve them, which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all nations under the whole heaven. 20. The Lord hath taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even unto Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day. Furthermore, the Lord was angry with me for your sakes, and sware that I should not go over Jordan, and that I should not go into that good land, which is the Lord thy God's given thee for inheritance. 22. But I must die in this land. I must not go over Jordan, but ye shall go over and possess that good land. All right. So once again, Moses is still reiterating, what has to be done in order for them to be a people who truly possesses this land. You cannot serve anything except for the Most High. You can't serve the birds. You can't make a god out of male or female, out of the birds, out of the fish in the sea. And what is so ironic about these things today, specifically to what Moses said to Joshua and to the children of Israel, is that there are gods of everything that he just said, not to worship. There's literally gods for every and anything that you can just think of. And 10 times out of 10, it's absolutely ridiculous of the things that people truly serve out here that have no value. It holds no true honor. It's not real. It's something inside of your mind that's not there in reality. The Most High is true and real in reality, in society, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. But not everybody truly knows the Most High but the Israelites, because that's their God. That's their power. Okay? And that's that. Let's keep it going. Let's go back into the Hebrew. So we can go ahead and finish this off. All right. Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 23. Hashamarwa, Lakam, Pan, Thashakakwa, Ath, Bariath, Yahweh, Alahayakam, Ashar, Karath, Ankam, Wa'ashatham, Lakam, Pasal, Thamawanath, Ka'al, Ashar, Tazawak, Yahweh, Alahayak. Verse 24, Kia, Yahweh, Alahayak, Ashar, Ash, Akala, Hawa'ah, Al, Qanah. Verse 25, Kia, Thawa Layad, Banyam, Wabanya, Banyam, Wana Washanatham, Barataza, Waha Shakatham, Wa'ashatham, Pasal, Thamawana, Ka'al, Wa'ashatham, Harai, Bayanya, Yahweh, Al-Hayak, Laha Kayasawa, verse 26, Hayadathya, Bakam, Hayawam, Ath, Hashamayim, Wa'ath, Haratazah, Kiyah, Abad, Ta'abad Yawan, Mahar, Ma'al, Haratazah, Ashar, Atham, Ibarian, Ath, Hayaradan, Shema, Larashath, La'ah, Tharyakan, Yam Yam, Aliyah, Kaya, Hashamat, Tashamat Yuan. Verse 27, Waha Prayataza, Yahweh, Athakam, Bamayim, Wabasharatham, yeah, Mathia, Masapar, Bagawian, Ashar, Yanahad, Yahweh, Athakam, Shema. Verse 28. Abadakam. It's like Abayatham, Sham, Alahayim, Maasha, Yadya, Adam, Aitaza, Bun, Ashar, La'a, Yarwan, Wala, Yashamaiwan, Wala'a, Yakarwan, Wala'a, Yakan. And then that's verse 29, last verse. Wabakwashatham, Masham, Ath, Yahweh, Alahayat, Wamataza'ath, Kiyah, Darashian, Bakal, Lababat, Wabakal, Napashak. And then that's it on that one. Clap it up. All right, Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 23. Take heed unto yourselves, lest ye forget the covenant of the Lord your God, which he made with you, and make you a graven image, or the likeness of anything which the Lord thy God hath forbidden thee. 24. For the Lord thy God is a consuming fire, even a jealous God. When thou shalt beget children and children's children, and ye shall have remained long in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves, and make a graven image of the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of the Lord thy God, to provoke him to anger. 26. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed. So now again, this is a warning now, right? In this story, this is a warning that Moses is giving to ensure that they get the picture, the bigger picture. If you do not follow the Lord and do as he says, as you are told, you will not make it in this land. This will all fall apart. You will be destroyed, and this land will be destroyed. That's why right now we are scattered all throughout the four corners of the earth. And after Moses, we had, Joshua, Caleb. After them, we had more people and more people and more people, prophets and priests who came along to show us and carry on what Moses was trying to drive into our minds right here at this moment and point in time. However, we did get it at one point. We fell off. We were in captivity. The Lord took us out. We were back on track. We was not on track anymore. So it just kept happening and happening and happening again. But this time around, the way the prophecies are happening and going in 2026, soon this will all be over. And that's the words we always got to keep saying, soon, because that's what they said back then. And we're saying it now, because sooner or later, this will be the last captivity. There is no more captivities after this deliverance from the Most High in Christ. There is no more deliverance out of any other captivities except for this one, because this is the last. This is the final boss. All right. Verse 27. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whether the Lord shall lead you. I literally just said this without even reading it. 28. And there ye shall serve gods, the work of man's hands, wood and stone, religion, Christianity, Islam, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell, meaning that these religions that you follow, they are not real. They have no substance. You're serving a God, you're worshiping a God that is not real. They do not smell, they do not hear, they do not see, they do not touch. They do not have, there's nothing tangible about it. Okay? All right. 29. But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God, thou shalt find him if thou seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul. Meaning in your entire existence, in everything that you get yourself into, the Lord has to be involved. When you're trying to make money moves, house moves, business moves, your way of life, your parenting, your relationships, whether it be intimate and non-intimate. Everything in life, you have to involve the Most High. You have to serve him in that. You have to know that the Most High is the reason why you are up here and not down here. Because if you're down here, that's because of you. But you are up here. You are living, you are thriving, you're not in prison. You're not in the grave. That's because you are doing and applying what the Lord told you to do. And you're doing it with your soul, which is your spirit. Your spirit is actionable. The things that you do based off of your spirit is actionable, right? With your heart is your mind. What starts right here is going to come out through actions. Actions only happen based off of what starts up here in your mind. All right. So if you involve the Most High in all of those things, you are set up for success and never failure. I pray you understand. Let's go back into the ancient Paleo Hebrew. All right. Okay. All right. So we got like two more precepts to get in, two more sets of 7 to get into, and then we're out of here. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 30. Balthazar, Lach, Wa ma tatawat, Ka'al, Hadabarian, Ha'ala, Barkaria, Hayamyam, Wa Shabbath, I, Yahweh, Al-Hayat, Wa Shemayeth, Wakwawa. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 31. Tiyah, Al, all right, I think we're back on the air now. It must have been a little technical difficulty. All right. Wala'ah. Yashak. Yashak. Yathak. Wala'ah. Yashakak. Ath. Baryath. Abathiyak. Ashar. Nashabai. Laham. Verse 32. Kiyah. Sha'ah. Na'ah. La Yam. Rashanium. Ashar. Hayawa. Lapanya. Laman. Hayawam. Ashar. Bara'ah. Alahayim. Adam. Al. Haratazah. Wala Makwatazah. Hashemayim. Wa'ai. Kwatazah. Hashemayim. Hana. Yeah. Hanaya, Kadabar, Hagadawal, Hazah, Awa, Hanashamai, Kamawa, verse 43, Hashamai, Ain, Kowal, Alahayim, Madabar, Mathawak, Ha'ash, Kashar, Shemayah, Atha, Wayakaya, verse 34, Awa, Hanasa, Alahayim, Lawa'a, La Kokak, Lawa, Galia, Makara, Gawiya, Bamasath, Ba'athath, Waba Mapathi, Waba Malakma, Wabayad, Kazak, Kasakwa, yeah, Kasakwa, Wabazarwai, Natawiya, Waba Mawara'ayim, Gadayim, Kakal, Ashar, Aisha, Lakam, Yahweh, Alhayakam, Ba Matazarian, La'anya, verse 35, Atha, Hara'ath, Gadayim, Yahweh, Hawa'ah, Ha'alahayim, Ayan, Iwad, Malabadwa, verse 36, Man, Hashemayim, Hashemayak, Ath, Pawa, Bayasarak, Wa'al, Harathasai, Hara'ak, Ath, Ashwa, Hakadawala, Yadabaryawa, Shemayath, Mathawak, Hawa'ash. And that's it on that. Let's wrap it up. All right, let's wrap it up. All right. All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 30. When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to the Lord thy God, and shalt be obedient unto his voice. For the Lord thy God is a merciful God. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which he sware unto them. For acts now of the days that are past, which were before thee, since the day that God created man upon the earth, and acts from the one side of heaven unto the other, whether there have been any such thing as this great thing is, or hath been heard like it. 33. Did ever people hear the voice of God speaking out of the midst of the fire, as thou hast heard and lived? That's a question being asked. Verse 34. Or have God essayed to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation by temptations, by signs, and by wonders, and by war? All right. Salaki. God damn it. Salaki, give me a second, y'all. And by a mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm, and by great terrors, according to all that the Lord your God did for you in Egypt before your eyes. 35. Unto thee it was showed that thou mightest know that the Lord, he is God. There is none else beside him. 36. Out of heaven he made thee to hear his voice, that he might instruct thee. Upon earth he showed thee is his great fire, and thou heardest his words out of the midst of the fire. All right. So what's being said here, you know what I mean, to what's being said here to the to Joshua from Moses is simply him reiterating again his experience with the Most High. You know, like he's asking a question, but simply answering it at the same time in a way where Joshua can understand, like, I mean, my experience with the Most High has been this. He's laying it all flat out for him to see and understand. And this is what he needs. This is the encouragement and the strength he needs in order to move on without him. Because again, Moses is staying behind and Joshua is not. He's moving forward to lead Israel into the promised land. Okay? Let me see something. Give me 1 second. But also too, another thing that you have to understand, right? When we get into the verses before verses 30, Moses also is going to foretell what will happen to Israel if they do not follow the Most High. He ensures, like, look, if they don't follow the Most High God, they will be destroyed. They will be destroyed when they follow and worship other idols and other gods. That is going to be a guaranteed thing that will happen if they do not. And that's what's happening right now in today's time. We are being destroyed by the things that we worship, by the things that we serve, because it is not of the Lord. It is not the Lord. That's why it's happening that way. All right. For example, the Babylonian captivity, the Assyrian captivity, those are things that are going to come next, and we are going to see that in, you know, in future scriptures. All right, in different timelines, so to speak. So yeah, let's keep going. And also too, Moses is. You can also say that Moses is challenging. You know, I'm sorry. Moses not is only talking to Joshua, but talking to Israel as well as a collective. He's also challenging them, saying, like, has anybody went through what I went through? Has anybody heard, you know what I mean, the voice of the Most High? You know, dealt with these miracles the way he did in Egypt and the deliverance from slavery. Who else has went through that besides me? Is what he's challenging and saying at the same time. Okay. All right. So, let me see. All right. I think that was it on that. Let's read the last 7 and get out of here. Let's see, 37 to 43. All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 37. Watakath, Kayah, Ahab, Ath, Abathayak, Waya Pakar, Pakar, Bazariwa, Akariwa, Waya Watazaak, Bapanyawa, Bakawa, Bakakwa, Hagadar, Ha Gadol, Matazarayim. Verse 38. Laha Wariyash. Looks like it. Laha Wariyash. Galim. Gedalim. Wa'at Tizanium. Mamak. Mapanya. Laha Bayak. La Thath. Lak Ath. Aratazam. Nakala. Kayawam. Hazah. Verse 39. Wayadayeth. Hayawam. Wahashabath. Al. Lababak. Kaya Yahweh. Hawa'ah. Ha'alahayim. Bashamayim. Mama'al. Wa'al. Haratazah. Matakath. Ayan. Iwad. 40. Bashamarath. Ath. Kakiwa. Wa'ath. Matazawathiwa. Ashar. Anakia. Matazawak. Hayawam. Ashar. Yayata. Lak. Balabanyak. Akaria. Balamain. Aryak. Yamyam. Al. Ha'arama. Ashar. Yahweh. Ahayak. Nathan. Lak. Ka'ol. Hayamyam. 41. Az. Yabadar. Yabadayal. Mashah. Shalash. Aryan. Bayabar. Hayardan. Bazarakah. Shamash. 42. Lanaz. Shema. Rawatazak. Wait. Rawatazak. Yeah. Ashar. Yeah. Ratazak. Ath. Ra'aywa. Babalia. Da'ayth. Wahawa'ah. La'ah. Shana. Lawa. Mata Mawal. Shalashlam. Wanaz. Al. Akath. Man. Ha'arim. Ha'ol. Wakaya. Verse 43, last verse. Ath. Batazar. Bamatabar. Baratazar. Hamayashar. La Arabania. La Awabania. Wa'ath. Ramath. Bakalad. Lagadia. Wa'ath. Gawalan. Babashan. Lamanashia. And that's it. All right, let's wrap it up. All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 37. And because he loved thy fathers, therefore he chose their seed after them, and brought thee out in his sight with his mighty power out of Egypt, to drive out nations from before thee greater and mightier than thou art, to bring thee in to give thee their land for an inheritance as it is this day. Know therefore this day, and consider it in thine heart, that the Lord, he is God in heaven above, and upon the earth beneath there is none else. 40. Thou shalt keep therefore his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee this day, that it may go well with thee, and with thy children after thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days upon the earth, which the Lord thy God giveth thee forever. 41. Then Moses severed 3 cities on this side Jordan toward the sunrising. 42. That the slayer might flee thither, which should kill his neighbor unawares, and hated him not in times past, and that fleeing unto one of these cities he might live, namely Bazar, in the wilderness in the plain country of the Reubenites, and Ramoth and Gilead of the Gadites, and Golan and Bashan of the Manassites. So we are going to get into that a little bit later. And so a little bit later, as far as verse 41 to 43. That's something that transitioned into a different topic. All right. But in a nutshell, what's happening and what's being said right here is that simply Moses is, talking to Israel and talking to, Joshua as a whole, as far as what is the next steps, his experience. He's not coming with them to the promised land, and what their instructions are moving forward. All right. So with that being said, I imagine which means stand. Okay. All right. All right. All right, Wapanya, it's like I imagine Wapanya Kodam, which means to rise and face the east. All right. All right. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shukah, Yahweh, Malak Wathka, Taba'a, Ratzaka, Haya, Asha, Baratiza, Kawa, Haya, Bashemayim, Dalana, Lakam, Kawayawam, Basalakana, Kawathnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawath Yanawa, La'a, Taba'anawa, Banasayawan, Abba, Hawashinawa, Mayan, Rai, Haya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'alawa, Tabarath, La'ulamu, Aman. In the English, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever, so be it. Amen. Right. The power, in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bakasha, Nadalana, Bakak, Bara'a, Kalmakala, Bakamanawa, Bakak, Latahar, Mahalat Zari, Bakak, Bahaki, Mamathi, Bakak, Arakawat. Hatama'ala, the Garsha, Bashim Yahushua, Waraman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Bless Israel, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Barakanawa, Washa'ala, Wahabayah, Sapari, Barak, Bashim Yahushua, the Waraman. In the English, what we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahushua, Jesus Christ, bless us in Israel in the school. In the name of Yahushua, Jesus Christ, bless us. Thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'a, Ayanya, Ahari, Ma'ayan, Yama'a, Azaria, Ma'am, Yahweh, Asha, Shemayim, Waratiza, Ayathan, Nawats, Regaka, Ayanawam, Shemarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, La'a, Yashem, Shemamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazaka, Ayat, Yamyaka, Yawam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakak, Yarak, Layala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makara, Yashamar, after Pashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, to the after, Abu Wakam, Mayatha, Wa'ida, Wunum. In the English, I lift up my eyes into the hills, from which cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth thee will not. He that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim Adami Alaka, Ata Karash, Alta Shapa, Al Kayahana, Awabika, Yahama Yawan, Rash, Al Alaka, Yarayama, Sabbath, Wayathat, Yatazawa, Al to the Pawanyaka, Amara, Lakawa, Mikaki Dam, Goya, Wala Ayas, Kar Shamia Sha'ala, Iwala Kaya, Nawatazawa, Labat, Ikadwa, Aryaka, Variath, Yakawaka, Ahoya, Adamamia, Waya Shama Alayam, Mawa Awa, Guardian, Kabawa, Mawan, Malak, Alashat, Amishabi, Talabor. Ashwa, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawat, Zawad, Labani Lawat, Salah, Shalahum, Kamadian, Kasaya, Sara'a, Kayabi, Barakal, Kayashwan, Ashimatun, Bayanda Arwa, Hayawat, Laman, La Adamas, Shetawa, Nada, Ya Mawa, Karab, because of Zomanai, Nasi Kumba, Ashar, Amara, Narashat, Narawa, Ath, Naawa, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shetawa, Fagabla, Fabash, the Pani Rawaka. Ka'ash Tabari Ira, Wa Kalabat, Dalahat, Harim, Khan, Tharatma, Pasarika, Wabasa Wapatka, Dalahalum, Mala'a, Payahum, Palaban, Waya Bakwashu, Shikar, Yahawa, Yabashu, Waya Baho, Aya, Waya Kaparo, Waya Abadu, Waya Daiwa, Kia Athat, Shaka, Yahawa, Labaka, Ayawan, Al-Farataza. Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make us smoke, and they that hate thee are lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off for being a nation, that the name of Yasha'Allah may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hungarians, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, and the inhabitants of Tyre. The shore also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah, doing to them as to the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin. At the brook of Kisan, which bears an Endor. They became as dung for the earth, Salah. They became as dung for the earth, make the noise like a rib, and like Zeb, yea, are the prince as Sabbath, and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the house of Yahweh in possession, O my power. Make them like a wood as a stubble before the wind, as a fire burneth the wood, and as the flames of the mountains of fire. So persecute thy temples and make them afraid of thy storm. Fill their faces with shame that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let us be confounded in trouble forever, yea, let us be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. All right. ISUPK power structures. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth and all things living, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. Send evils, the curses, the punishment, and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. To evils, the curses, the punishment, and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force the rich into thy sanctuary. Send evils, the curses, the punishment, and destruction to the Edomites, and the nations, and the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, positive commentarists, gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, works of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airways, cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of unite people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us to broadcast your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel come down with flying saucers to punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it's the angels who have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you always, so be it. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Courtesy salute for the men of Israel. All right. Men of Israel. Imagine. Mashabat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Bashem al Shabrakatah. Yazmatah. Hands to the side. Sar, which means to turn. Courtesy salute for the sisters. All right. Men of Israel. Mashabat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Shemar Alatah Bashem al Shah. Yazmatah. Class dismissed. All right. All right. Shalom, Israel.